Hey guys, it's Keely and Joe, and today we are going to be doing a batch cooking of egg white bites. I love these bites from Starbucks, but today we're going to be creating our own with some mix and match flavors that we like more than what the Starbucks ones have. I've got my sous chef Joe here with me, so he's going to be doing most of the work while I'm behind the camera narrating what we're doing. Let's get started. In my opinion, the perfect egg white bites always start with a breakfast meat, some veggies, and cheese. Today we are going to be using bacon to make these egg white bites, so I'm going to do that by batch cooking it in the oven. This is a perfect way to make bacon without having any spills. So we're just going to line a baking sheet with some foil and then lay all of the bacon pieces as flat as possible onto the cooking sheet, trying to give them as much space as possible while still getting them all on the sheet. And then we're going to stuff that in the oven at 400 degrees for as long as it takes to get it to what you want. Now, we like ours crispy, so we're going to cook ours a little bit longer, so we'll keep checking in. But if you don't want yours this crispy, then obviously you'll cook it for less time. This is one of our favorite tools to use when we are batch cooking. This is a chopper that I found on Amazon, and basically you just put your veggies in that you want chopped, and it chops them all the same shape, same size, and it's really great and it's fun to do. So we're going to chop up a ton of veggies using this. I like using this too because it makes everything really small and makes sure that everything cooks very evenly. For these egg white bites, we are going to be doing some onion and then some peppers. And keep in mind, we are doing multiple batches of this, so we're going to be using a lot. Periodically, you want to check in on your bacon. We usually set a timer for 10 minutes, and then keep checking on it every 2 minutes. And we like to flip ours halfway through. Some people just leave it and don't flip it at all. We find if you flip it in the middle, it makes them extra crispy. So if you like it like that, you might want to flip them halfway through and then stick it back in the oven. Now that we're done chopping up a million veggies, we are going to start working on our cheese. We decided to use Gouda in this recipe, which I highly recommend because it is delicious for egg white bites. We got a block of cheese and we're just going to grate it ourselves really quickly. I don't like buying the already shredded cheese because it has just almost like a film on it and it just tastes so much better when you grate it yourself. So we just got a block and we're going to grate that up. So our bacon is almost done, and you'll know it's done if you start to see this little foam starting at the top if you like it crispy. So we're going to pull that out of the oven and get that on to some paper towels so that it can start cooling and the grease can start draining. Since we already have bacon grease, we are just going to use this as our oil, and we are going to add all of our veggies and get those in the oven so they can start softening. It just makes it so much easier for the egg bites to cook, and it ensures that your veggies will be soft inside of them if you cook them beforehand. If you don't want that much bacon flavor, you can roast them with a different kind of oil to get the same effect. Once the veggies are done roasting and they are soft enough, you're going to want to turn your oven down to 350 degrees to prepare for cooking the egg bites. Now we are just going to mix everything together in this large bowl. We've got our peppers and onions. We've got our grated cheese. We are also going to crumble our bacon, and then we are going to add a bunch of liquid egg whites. Instead of separating them myself, I just bought the carton because that's the easiest for me to do. Add salt, pepper, or whatever seasonings you want, and then we're going to try something new today. I saw in this recipe that they added cheese, cottage cheese, and so we're going to add that for a little bit more depth of flavor and also texture. Also add some more protein, which we really enjoyed. Spray your muffin tins with some oil. We chose avocado oil. And then begin filling your muffin tins equally. We filled ours way too high, but I would recommend doing it probably at 3/4 full. And just so it's easy cleanup later, we just wipe the tops of these where any of that egg white splattered onto the top. For just a little extra presentation touch, we reserve some of that cheese and we're just going to put a small pile of that on top. You'll put those in for approximately 20 minutes or until they're no longer liquidy. Ours took a little bit longer. It really just depends on how big your muffin tins are. You want to repeat this process for any remaining batter. Since we didn't have very many muffin tins, we just had to wait for these to cool. Once they were done, pop them onto a cooling sheet and then continue. If you want to be super fancy and do it like Starbucks, you could actually get muffin cups to make things a lot easier for cleanup, but we're just using the pan itself. We didn't use muffin cups. So we're going to let these cool on a baking sheet, and we're actually going to halfway freeze them. That makes them easier to go ahead and store in a bag later to be frozen. So for easy freezer storage, we are going to, like I said, halfway freeze them, and then once that's done and they feel somewhat solid, we're going to pop these into these pre-written bags. So I'm just going to write what they are and then the date that we made them. That way we kind of know how old they are and know when to use them up. I think in total we ended up making approximately 40 egg white bites that day, and we usually eat 2 per morning, so that's pretty good. And you can just store these in one bag and pull them out as needed and microwave as you want them. That's it for this video. That's how to make egg white bites to reheat later. We hope that you guys enjoyed this batch cooking video. If you're not already, don't forget to subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when we make new batch cooking videos.